What is Primetime about? Robert Pattinson's new movie explained. Warning, trailer, and true story disclaimer. Before we begin, this video discusses the official trailer for Primetime and the real-life television phenomenon that inspired the film. While Primetime is based on real events surrounding investigative journalist Chris Hansen and NBC's To Catch a Predator, it's a dramatized feature film, not a documentary. Some characters and events may be fictionalized for storytelling. With that said, let's get started. When the first trailer for Primetime dropped, most people expected another true crime movie. Instead, they got something much stranger. Robert Pattinson doesn't look like Batman. He doesn't sound like himself. He completely transforms into legendary investigative journalist Chris Hansen. But here's what's surprising. Primetime isn't really about catching predators. It's about something much bigger. It's about television, fame, ethics, and the moment reality TV blurred the line between journalism and entertainment. So, what exactly is Primetime about? Let's break it all down. What is Primetime? At its core, Primetime is a psychological crime drama produced by A24. The film is directed by acclaimed documentary filmmaker Lance Oppenheim, known for exploring real people and morally complex situations. The story takes place in 2006, when NBC's Dateline and To Catch a Predator had become one of America's most talked-about television events. Every week, millions of viewers watched suspected online predators walk into carefully staged sting operations. Waiting for them was Chris Hansen. His calm opening question became instantly recognizable. Why don't you have a sate? Those few words became part of television history. But instead of focusing only on the investigations, Primetime asks another question. What was happening behind the cameras? Who does Robert Pattinson play? Robert Pattinson plays Chris Hansen himself. For many viewers, that casting was completely unexpected. Chris Hansen isn't an action hero. He's not a politician. He's a journalist. Yet Pattinson disappears into the role. The trailer recreates Hansen's calm demeanor, his measured voice, his patient questioning. Even his body language feels remarkably accurate. Rather than imitating Hansen, Pattinson appears to capture the quiet confidence that made him so effective. That's one reason the trailer immediately generated so much discussion. Many viewers barely recognized him. Is this just a Chris Hansen biopic? Surprisingly, no. Chris Hansen may be the central character, but he isn't the only focus. The movie appears far more interested in exploring the television industry itself. During the early 2000s, reality television exploded in popularity. Audiences wanted bigger surprises, more shocking moments, higher ratings. Programs like To Catch a Predator became cultural events, but they also raised difficult questions. Where is the line between journalism and entertainment? Can a television investigation still remain objective when millions of people are watching? And does the pressure to attract viewers eventually influence how stories are told? Those appear to be the questions Primetime wants audiences to consider. The ethics behind the cameras. One of the film's most fascinating themes is ethics. On one hand, the investigations exposed people attempting to meet children. Many believe the program performed an important public service. On the other hand, critics argued that television sometimes transformed real criminal investigations into entertainment. The cameras, the dramatic reveals, the nationwide broadcasts, everything became part of a television spectacle. Primetime doesn't appear interested in giving easy answers. Instead, it explores the difficult decisions made by journalists, producers, network executives, and everyone responsible for bringing those investigations to millions of homes. Why is everyone talking about Primetime? There are several reasons. First, Robert Pattinson's transformation. He's become known for choosing unpredictable roles. From The Lighthouse to The Batman to Mickey 17, he consistently avoids playing the same type of character twice. Chris Hansen may be one of his biggest acting challenges yet. Second, the nostalgia. Anyone who watched television during the early 2000s instantly recognizes the world recreated in the trailer. The studio sets, the Dateline investigations, the unmistakable atmosphere of network television. And finally, the subject itself remains controversial. Even years later, people still debate whether To Catch a Predator changed crime reporting forever. Is Primetime based on a true story? Yes, but with an important distinction. The film is inspired by real events surrounding Chris Hansen and the production of To Catch a Predator. However, it isn't trying to recreate history scene for scene. Instead, it's a dramatized story. That allows the filmmakers to explore broader themes: media responsibility, public fascination with crime, television ethics, and the personal cost of becoming the face of one of America's most controversial programs. Think of it less as a documentary and more as a character study built around real history. What makes Primetime different? Most true crime films focus on criminals or detectives. Primetime shifts the camera somewhere unexpected. The journalists, the producers, the people deciding what audiences see and what they don't. The movie asks an uncomfortable question. When television ratings become incredibly important, can journalism remain completely objective? Or does every broadcast become part investigation, part performance? That's a fascinating perspective rarely explored in films based on real events. The cast beyond Robert Pattinson. Although Pattinson leads the movie, he's surrounded by an impressive supporting cast. The film also stars Merritt Wever, known for her emotionally grounded performances, Skylar Gisondo, Matthew Marr, Bokeem Woodbine, and singer-songwriter Phoebe Bridgers, making her feature film acting debut. With A24 producing the film, many viewers expect a character-driven drama rather than a conventional crime thriller. Why A24 is the perfect studio? One reason fans are especially excited is the studio behind the movie. A24 has built a reputation for telling unconventional stories. Instead of focusing on action, its films often explore complicated characters, moral ambiguity, and emotional tension. That's exactly the kind of story Primetime appears to be. Rather than presenting simple heroes and villains, the movie seems interested in exploring how good intentions, public pressure, and television itself can become deeply intertwined. Could Primetime become an awards contender? It's still far too early to know, but the ingredients are certainly there. A respected filmmaker, A24, a fascinating true story premise, and another transformative performance from Robert Pattinson. If the finished film delivers on the promise of its trailer, it could become one of the most discussed dramas of the year. Not because of shocking twists, but because of the difficult questions it asks. Final thoughts. So, what is Primetime really about? On the surface, it's the story of Chris Hansen and the rise of To Catch a Predator during one of television's most unforgettable eras. But underneath, it's about something much larger. It's about how journalism evolved, how crime reporting became primetime entertainment, and how television can shape public opinion just as powerfully as the stories it tells. With Robert Pattinson delivering another remarkable transformation, Lance Oppenheim directing, and A24 bringing its signature style, Primetime looks like far more than a traditional biopic. It looks like a thoughtful examination of media, morality, and the price of turning real life into must-watch television. So what do you think? Will Primetime be remembered as a gripping character study, or one of A24's most controversial films yet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more movie explained videos, trailer breakdowns, hidden details, and true story deep dives.